Hello everyone, my name's James Foligno and welcome to another edition of the Gold Coast Property Auction and Sales Results. This week we'll be covering the week of Monday the 13th of March up until the 20th of March, and like we do every week we'll go through some auction results and clearance rates and then we'll get into the properties. So I'm just going to share my screen for you guys and we'll go straight into it. So like we do every week, we first check out the auction and sales results. So we look at realestate.com for this. And as you can see, Victoria and New South Wales still very strong with auction numbers and very strong with clearance rates above the 80%. The Queensland's what we're interested in. And as you can see, they're about mid-70s, 75%. When it looks at sales volume, New South Wales was at 2,100 for the week, Victoria at about 2,000, and Queensland again in third place at 1,500. So from all reports, it looks like these markets are still going quite strong. Let's get into the properties. There wasn't that many units this week that came up. So under that 500,000 mark, there wasn't a lot being sold. We did find some properties a bit above that that we found that had a good land component that we're going to show you today. So in saying that, here's the first one. This was at 8 Cathrau Street in Bigara Waters. It was an older style home, a Res B block, very developable, very close to the water. This was a 3-bed, 1-bath, 2-car home. It was a 506 square metre block. The houses next door, again, maybe needed some work as well. So could be a potential for a land amalgamation here. And this one here in Bigara Waters sold 850,000. The next one we're going to look at is 72 California Drive in Oxenford. This was a big block of land, 1,350 square metres, had a 5-bed, 2-bath, 2-car home. It was renovator's delight. So someone could come in here and really spruce this home up. It had a bit of work done already to it. Again, this home could be set up for dual living, did have a swimming pool in the back. And this one here in California Drive sold 890,000. The next one we're going to look at is this one here. This was at 19 Harris Street in Labrador. This was an older style home, but on a huge block and very close to the water, about 4 or 5 streets to the water. This was a 2-bed, 1-bath, 1-car home, but that land value was the important thing here. It was 1,012 square metres. It sold for 1.2 million. So really it's a double block and about 600 a block there. So good buying for land content. Next one we're going to look at this one. This one made it to the list slightly over our budget, but we put it in the list because this was the cheapest waterfront property that sold on the Gold Coast last week. This was at 10 Matthew Flinders Drive in Holywell. It was on 661 square metres. It had a pontoon. As you can see, it was a lovely brick and tile home, quite substantial, ready for a family to move into. It did have a swimming pool as well. Could do with a bit of an update. And this one here sold 1.45 million. So not bad for a waterfront home. We're going to keep moving along. The next one we've got, this is one of the only units that sort of made it into the list today or this week. This was in a place called Paradise Palms. It was 48/38 Murev Way in Carrara, quite close to the M1. This was a 3-bed, 1-bath with accommodation for 2 cars, double-storey townhouse, quite clean and ready to move into on the inside. Pool in the complex, body corporate at $67 per week, rough rental return of about $500 a week, and this one sold $539,000. Next one we're going to look at is this one here. This was at 93 River Oak Drive in Helensvale. This is probably the buy of the week. This was a brick and tile home. As you can see, 3-bed, 2-bath, accommodation for 2 cars, a double garage, plus accommodation at the front for a couple or more. That's the residence there. You can see from the floor plan, quite big. The land size was a bit smaller, so the land size was 400 square metres or so, and this one sold 598,000. So really good to get a property or a house under 600. Next one we're going to look at is this one here. We've got this one in Nerang. This was at 5 Werner Place. This was another 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, 441 square metres, brick and tile, quite original on the inside. And again, this one sold 625,000. We've got a few more to get through. We're going to look at this one. This was at number 2, Packham Crescent in Pacific Pines. It's a lovely home, double garage, brick and tile, good size block at 659 square metres, air conditioning, quite original again on the inside. But for the young family, really lovely home, 840,000. We keep moving along. We're going to go to Kumbaba. We've got this one here. This was at 47 Leonardo Circuit in Kumbaba. This was another brick and tile home. This was 3-bed, 1 bath with 1 garage, 1 car space, as you can see there. And this one here, again, pretty good for the family, ready to move into, a pretty original brick and tile. This one here sold 615,500. The last property we're going to look at is in Tamborine Mountain. It's this one. It was sold for 690,000. It was 13 Sagaro Court. It was a 3-bed, 1 bath, 1 car home. As you can see, brick and tile from the picture, and it sold for 690. But I can show you the same house was sold. Here we go, 13 Sagaro. So it's checking the prices of it, and we can see that this same house, if we scroll down, it was sold in January 2020 for 430. So there was a good 50% profit in less than 2 years for someone on that purchase, for just over 2 years. So pretty good buy in there as well. Just the last thing I wanted to say, we went through all the sold results, and under 500,000, there wasn't too much that's going other than apartments at the moment. So we went through them. There's a couple of duplexes, but there's not much stock anymore under that 500 mark. It's starting to really dry up. And the last thing I wanted to mention today too, which I'll need to do a bit further investigation with, but from an article in the Financial Review, I've just learned that there's been a discrepancy between the auction results on realestate.com and the auction results on CoreLogic. We're starting to see a little bit of negativity in the press with the property market, and a lot of the reporters are talking about the results coming out of CoreLogic. When we look at this, we look at Victoria on realestate.com with a clearance rate of 82%, which normally means a flying market. When we come to clearance rates for Melbourne, it's down at 68%. When we go to New South Wales, 87%, it comes down to 69%. This is the same results for the same weekend. So I'm going to try and do a bit more investigation over the week and get back to you why there's such a discrepancy, because this is why maybe we're seeing so much misinformation in the media about the property market. So I hope it's been interesting. Good luck with your property hunting until next week. If you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Otherwise, good luck, and I'll see you next week. Take care.